I did score a few things from Record Store Day 2024. I want to show them to you. What I was really hoping to find was Death Cab for Cuties live at the Showbox and Fleet Fox's live album, neither of which Josie in Plano had. That's okay. I did score two others that I'm actually kind of excited to dig into. Let's take a look at what I got. I kind of skimmed over when I was looking over the Record Store Day official releases, and maybe it just wasn't even on that list. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I'm pretty excited about this one. It is Stars and their 2010 album, The Five Ghosts. Now, this also has the Seance EP, which is the first time that has been included on vinyl. It is a double LP, so you have the A side, the B side, the C side, which is The Five Ghosts, and you have the D side, which is the 4-song EP. Now, the Seance EP is kind of exciting as well. Opinions versus the Sun, which is Stars versus the album Leaf. You have The Five Ghosts. You have Stars versus Montag, which is The Black House, The Blue Sky. And you have Stars versus Of Montreal, which is The Dead Beg for More. This is just super cool. Now, I don't remember a ton about this particular release, although I do recall really liking I Died So I Could Haunt You. There are 11 tracks on the album, plus the 4, so 15 in total. Why don't we just open it up and take a look? Now, Stars is a Canadian indie band. They have been around for ages. In fact, I covered their 2004 album in my top 25 albums of 2004 countdown that I did not too long ago, celebrating the 20th anniversary of these albums. I'll share that one in just a second. Inside is some liner notes, which opens up into a Ouija board. That's kind of cool. So you got a Ouija board poster, you have the lyrics, and you have some credits. Despite having two LPs, it is not a gatefold sleeve, which is okay. And on the back, you've got the track list and stuff like that. It's on Last Gang Records out of Canada. I'll just pull out one of the records. It's nothing too fancy. It's on black vinyl. I have quite a few Stars albums in my collection as well. And we're going to start out with this one, which is also a Record Store Day exclusive pressing. It is the Sad Robots EP, first ever pressing on vinyl on glow-in-the-dark wax, and it's honestly one that I haven't really spent a ton of time with. I need to dig back into this. Next is In Our Bedroom After the War. This is from 2007. It is an original pressing. Great album. So The Five Ghosts came after this one, and yeah, good stuff here. This is out of print. It's been out of print for a while. Two more from Stars. This is an alternate cover from Set Yourself on Fire. It's got a topless woman on it covering herself, and you've got this kind of blowtorch flame thing in her hands. It's very different from the other cover that I'm and probably you are much more familiar with, which I'll kind of put right here. But this one is the one that got me into Stars, and Stars is one of those bands that it's kind of hard for me to like go all in on their records when their album first comes out. It usually takes a little while for me to zero in and appreciate the record. And finally, this one I found not all too long ago, maybe about a year and a half ago. It is Heart by Stars. I believe this is from 2000. It's the one that came before Set Yourself on Fire. And this is also a 2018 pressing on Last Gang. This one is also on a very cool blue vinyl. Okay, so I have now had a wardrobe change. I've now had a glass of Merlot, and I've listened to The Five Ghosts a few times. Like pretty much everything by Stars, the first few times I give it a listen, it doesn't quite land. It's good, but it's not one that I'm like repeating over and over and over, and I'm wanting to dig deeper into the album. It's still pretty dang good, and I cannot wait to listen to it a few more times and hope that kicks in where I become a little bit more obsessed with it. Case in point, This album, Set Yourself on Fire, absolutely phenomenal, but it had the exact same sentiment. It didn't land for me the first handful of times listening to it. I will say that the Seance EP is truly phenomenal, and that did land, and I am quite excited to put that on the turntable again a few more times, which I might actually do tonight. It's not just anything, it's the entire 4-song side. The one with Album Leaf is great. I'm not sure if you're a fan of Album Leaf or not, but they do a lot of kind of melodic instrumentals and stuff like that. They had some good stuff on Sub Pop way back in the day, early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s. It's really, really good stuff. So imagine Stars paired with that, and you kind of get a hint. The one with Of Montreal, equally, truly great. You don't get Kevin Barnes jumping in on vocals or anything like that, I don't believe, but you do get some of the kind of weirdo, folky, almost psychedelic stuff that is kind of weaved in, but it's subtle and intricate in ways that you don't necessarily expect. As you dig back into the Five Ghosts, you have a lot of really great catchy tunes that I anticipate a couple more listens and it's gonna hit me. The one that I threw out earlier, definitely enjoyed that. The We Don't Want Your Body was good, a little strange. And then there's Dead Hearts as well. All of these seem pretty solid. It doesn't necessarily seem as diverse as, say, some of the earlier albums. Set Yourself on Fire, Heart, not quite as good as some of those, but still a solid one nonetheless. When it comes down to it, the entire thing was worth it simply for the EP that it came with. First time on vinyl, all of that. And bonus, you get this album as well. If you're a fan of Stars, this is a must-have. There aren't that many pressings available, and they're not that easy to find in the States. So when it came down to it, I paid roughly $40 for this one. Not quite, but close. And the other pressings you can't really find in the States for less than $50, at least on Discogs. eBay, maybe. Amazon, who knows. Other places, who knows? I don't know. I didn't look. Whatever. I'm having wine. That too made this a solid deal. As always with any of these record store day releases, there are plenty available on Discogs already. Both of these are listed much higher than I paid for them. I anticipate prices coming down as more retailers throw their copies into the mix. The big question is, what will happen with the two that I really, really wanted? Fleet Foxes Live on Boston Harbor, which is a 3 LP set, and it's currently only listed for a little over $100. I'd like to see that one come down to a little bit more reasonable price. And the second one, Death Cab for Cuties Live at Showbox, 2,500 copies pressed of that one. I would love to get my hands on it, but that one is currently going for $150 to $250. A few copies have already moved at astronomical prices, which I'm really sad to say. I can see that one coming down a little bit in the future as well, but who knows? That's to be determined. If you'd like to check out the other one, which is kind of sitting right here, that I got at Record Store Day, you can see my thoughts and you can see the unboxing of it right up here. As one commenter said many moons ago, and I've taken it to heart, this dude is a damn nerd. I am Andy. This is the FensePost Vinyl channel, and I'll see you in the next video.